This is a new kind of Skittle called a Smoothies Skittles.
Oh, wow. That doesn't sound promising. Smoothies? Like, either we're doing smoothies or we're doing Skittles. This is how I feel about burlesque. I'm like, strip or be funny. I don't want the combo action. All right, let's see. They're pretty.
Right.
Although I'm going to take all the oranges out because I can't with orange flavor.
What do you mean?
I hate orange flavor candy.
For real?
Yeah.
Orange anything?
Amazing. They've done it again. See, contempt prior to investigation. These are amazing.
Yeah, they're better than regular Skittles.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I would say if it was like music, regular Skittles are like, and these are like, ooh.
It's Breaking Bread. Today's program is brought to you by Factor. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. So you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/papa50off and use code PAPA50OFF to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. What a great way to support the podcast and get great meals. That's code PAPA50OFF, PAPA50 off at factormeals.com/papa50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thank you, Factor. A toast.
A toast.
To you.
It's been a million
Thanks for
years.
being here. A zillion years. Oh, that's bad.
Bitter.
We have, bitter.
Bitter with fake caramel flavor.
Yeah, mine's fake vanilla. It's really bad. A toast to you making a movie.
Thank you.
Good job.
Have you made a movie?
I haven't.
You seem like you've made a movie.
I know, because I'm wearing a blazer.
The blazer.
I know.
Yeah, it makes me want to like get notes from you.
I know, it's director vibes, right?
Yeah.
I know. So your movie was really great, and
thank you.
you know Dave Hill? Do you know Dave Hill in New York?
Yeah.
Funny comedian. He
Yeah.
plays guitar and stuff, and he had an off-Broadway run, and he wanted to put the show together, and he asked if I would direct it.
Yeah.
And and I said yes. And there's something very cool about kind of walking in as like, oh, I'm the director now.
Yeah.
And watching your movie is it's one of those like Waiting for Guffman things where if you are in the arts at all, it's too close and cringy.
Yeah.
Where you kind of like, you're laughing, but you're also hurting.
I know. You know, it's like when it came out, people were calling it cringe comedy. And I didn't even know that's how cringe comedy was defined. I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought cringe comedy. I thought it was like shock jock vibes or something.
Yeah.
But cringe actually means you're
like,
cringing, like, oh, this is so brutal, I can't take it.
Yeah, like saying like AIDS jokes or something.
Yeah, I thought it was
like
that, but it's not. It's like when you're empathizing and it's too excruciating what someone's experiencing or something is what I think it is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there is that thing of like you are playing the director and you're also directing. But did you always kind of have? I always feel like I could direct because I'm pretty bossy and I like telling people how to live.
Right. I feel like you could direct.
Yeah.
Just off, your look.
And I was going to wear my other glasses, and you really would have thought.
Why? What are they?
They're new glasses, and they're a little thicker.
Yeah.
And they look a little more like this guy's doesn't care.
A little more eccentric.
A little more eccentric.
Yeah. A little more art gallery.
Yeah. But they're progressives, and my eyes aren't used to them, so I just get headaches. So what made you want to make a film?
Honestly, like, I probably wasn't necessarily someone who's always like, I want to direct. But I wrote a movie. I always wanted to write one. And I always like felt my whole career like I needed to write for myself. And then I felt like it was more a fluke that I got on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You know, it's like...
Right.
I never thought I'd be cast on a sitcom. I think like growing up, I didn't feel like anyone on a sitcom particularly looked like me. And I didn't really think like I would be on a sitcom.
Right.
But then that wound up happening. And so I think once I got off it, I was like, well, what's my voice and what do I have to say and da-da-da. And so I wrote this thing, but then I was encouraged to direct it by my agent at the time and Amy Poehler, who produced it.
Right.
And so then I did. And I think like, it's funny, like, I think the appeal of fame, I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be famous, you know, and that was just like, I thought fame seemed cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think the older I get, the more that is appealing about fame is really just control. Like, you just want to be able to say something and anyone gives a shit. You know, it's like, so I think like the appeal of directing was getting to say, here's how I want things. However, you really soon realize it's such a collaborative effort that, you know, that, and that's what's beautiful about it, is that you have all these department heads who are so keyed in and so knowledgeable in their particular areas. But, you know, I did feel, to speak to your sense of like that you're bossy and you might like directing, I did feel sort of pleasantly surprised by, you know, I felt like I did have opinions and answers and solutions to problems. And I certainly learned a lot, and there's a lot I would do differently if I make another movie. But yeah, I felt like my personality went well with it. And I actually felt like I had like a pretty fun time. I think in part because it was like a smaller budget movie. So I didn't have like, you know, I don't know.
Real nervous people around you?
Yeah, well, like in a way, like I feel like as a comedian and someone who loves comedy and a purist in that way, like I kind of hate when there's like A-listers who aren't funny in comedies, you know, like, and so I don't know. I liked that I wasn't like with a huge budget needing to put someone in who would be, you
marketable
know, and then also intimidating and like challenging or whatever. It was very homegrown, and so that part made it also feel really natural.
Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny how we carry these things about ourselves, because when I saw you early, I was like, oh, she would be cast on a sitcom immediately.
Really?
Yeah. And then you think like, there's no way, you know what I mean? We always have these things about ourselves.
Yeah, I know. I guess we all do. And I mean, I'm sure comedians more than anyone, we all think the world is against us, you know?
Yeah.
Or a lot of us. I don't know. You seem a bit more well-adjusted than the average comedian.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very low bar. It's a very low bar. It really is. It's like, like my life is pretty together, you know, and I have like a family and like, did stuff, and like I'm pretty grown up and even keeled that way. Yeah. But the stuff that we like, not being able to be complimented, or you get off stage and it's like you feel like, well, that wasn't good enough, and they'll tell you it was good enough.
Okay, yeah. What % of times do you feel like, do you largely get off stage and feel bad, or do you largely get off stage and feel good?
I usually get off and feel, that's a good question. I mean, it's both. I don't feel good for long. I'll usually feel good. Yeah. I'll usually feel like I'm working on something, and I'll be like, oh, that worked, or like we got there, or, you know, and the reaction will be good. And by the time I get to the dressing room, it's pretty much evaporated. It
is really weird about stand-up that you're in this massive, or maybe not massive, but you're in a room full of people. Yeah. And you're, you know, in this huge collective, and then you're just suddenly like in your dressing room alone. Or you know, maybe you have people who came, but a lot of times you don't. And then you're back in your hotel and you're just like, it's so quiet, you know?
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense that so many comedians have like sex addiction and alcohol problems, because how do you come down off of the energy of that many people?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it increases the loneliness.
Yeah.
But we're all kind of built the same way, which not really sure what. I did this gig for the Michael J. Fox Foundation. They does it in New York all the time. And
they're supposed to be really corrupt from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, it comes from him, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, horrible person. And I came off, and the set went well, but I came off, and Katie Couric was going on next to speak.
She's funny.
And she's hilarious. And I said, she said, good job. And I said, was it okay? Mm-hmm. And she hit me pretty hard, like a nice
She's
shot. She's
actually, side note, supposed to be really violent as a person.
Yeah, and a quick right jab.
Yeah.
And she goes, you comedians, you're all the same.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm not
You're like,
the
hey,
only one.
Couric, that's not helping.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, you news anchors.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all kind of carry that thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I always feel like the stand-ups that wind up, going really far, that they feel good after they get off stage, and that it's kind of a high for them. And then I'm like, I could understand wanting to do stand-up constantly because it's a high. Whereas for me, I often do feel shitty.
Immediately?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not always. Sometimes I really do have fun, but a lot of times I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done this joke, or I forgot to say this, or this person wasn't listening. I mean, I remember, I forget, I think it might have been the Comedy Store, but somewhere where I was like, oh, this person isn't laughing or whatever. And then I go to talk to them and they don't speak English. And I'm like, of course, I'm projecting hatred, that they hate me and literally they don't speak the language. They're just trying to have a good night,
Yeah, I know. You always, we think it's all about us and it's really not, even though they're watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. I talk about this with Fortune on our radio show all the time. And she says that
which is crazy that Fortune died this morning. It's so horrible.
Yeah, it's really tragic. But, she would want us to do this podcast.
Yeah.
She wanted us
to link up.
I was like, do I cancel?
No,
and Fortune would be like, no.
She
says guys get off the stage and always say they crushed.
Yeah.
And the women get off the stage and feel...
Interesting. I don't know, though. I mean, I feel like Tiffany Haddish or someone like that. I feel like she probably feels really good on stage.
Yeah, I don't think Eliza's
questioning herself. She's not in some sort of existential conundrum after she does a set.
Yeah, I think she feels great, and if she doesn't, somebody's to blame.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, Whitney.
Yeah, she probably feels good.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Who knows what anyone feels?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we all kind of feel it a little bit, but you really tap into all of this in the film. Yeah. It's really like that. Oh, I think towards the end, you say something about actors just being dumb or being stupid. Mm-hmm. And it really is like, you're like, why hold them up or something?
Yeah.
They're just dumb people. I'm paraphrasing, but
I mean, I have a friend of mine. He's he makes documentaries and stuff, but me and him will just send each other actors doing panels and back and forth because it is and I do think the older I get, the more I'm just I don't have the patience or tolerance for this. I'm just the vanity, the narcissism, the fucking lack of, I don't know, just perspective. And and then I think Hollywood is so hard to escape any of those traps. I was thinking in the shower before I came here, how having been on a network show for so long, I feel like if you do press and things don't you feel like you hang out with a friend who's been doing a lot of press, you can tell because they kind of talk to you differently. I just feel like it's not good for the human brain, and it's I think I started feeling also podcasts, it's what's the upside? You're just going to say the wrong thing or this or that, and it's I think I became so guarded for the last, I don't know, 5 years, something like that, where I'm what's the point of sharing my feelings or thoughts on anything? Because it's just everything carries such a high price tag to do that. And now I'm just kind of I guess who gives a shit? I don't know. It's
yeah.
I guess I'm well, I'm not on a network show and I guess I can say whatever I want and who cares? I don't know.
No one's paying me. But then when you do have a job offer and
then
they go through all of your stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then it's I do feel what I appreciate about podcasts now, it's there's community in it and it's kind of fun sitting and talking to you. And I haven't even seen you in a while. And it's there's something that I appreciate about just being in the company of funny people and
Fortune would have loved you saying that.
Why? Because she doesn't think you're funny?
No, just because when she was alive, she just had so much life.
Oh, right, yeah. She's dead. I forgot. So sad. Fortune, aw.
I baked you this bread just an hour ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's probably still warm. If you want to touch it, it's yours.
Wow.
But yeah, during this morning. I hope you like it.
So what happened? Did you start this in the pandemic?
No, I didn't.
That must suck for you.
Everybody asks that.
Yeah, because everyone started then. I mean, Jordan was making incredible bread loaves.
Mm-hmm.
And
that incredible?
There's no way, no. It couldn't hold up to that.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
he started during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And promptly
And what's he doing now? Yeah.
Well, yeah, now he barely eats bread now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why does everyone want to be so skinny?
Well, you get older, you sometimes have health problems.
Yeah, you got to kind of thin out.
But also everyone is literally emaciated now in Hollywood. It's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And it's everyone in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's now just eyeballs and elbows walking down the street.
Yeah, it's like Day of the Dead every day.
It really is. And no one will cop to it either. You're like, are you on Ozempic? They're like, no.
Yeah. Just two eyeballs blinking out of the open sockets.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I really feel like we're right back, we're back in like so many things I feel like we had behind us. It's like I just feel like it's so weird that we're arguing for like women's bodily autonomy, and at the same time women are jabbing themselves weekly to be like 30 pounds lighter than their natural weight. It's like such a strange juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we get away from all of it.
Yeah, I guess it's just all like an eternal struggle. I don't even like movies where it's like good versus evil, kind of thing. Like I'm always just like, I object to that. I feel like there's more relativity to the world than that, but I really do feel like, oh, maybe we are like, I don't know, maybe there are these evil and good forces that are just eternally at battle in all of civilization.
I kind of believe that too.
Yeah.
And a good place to kind of think about it is watching Lord of the Rings movies, which it's not my jam, but it was on twice. One time when I had a TV show that was being taken away and canceled.
What was it?
And it was a sitcom called Come to Papa, and and I was like, oh yeah, the network is evil, and we're fighting good. We're just trying to bring laughter, and whatever was happening, the hobbits going after the orcs or whatever was happening, I was like, yeah, this totally frames the world exactly how I've been feeling for the last couple of months.
Aww.
And and recently I was just like, yeah,
just imagining you watching that and relating it to your life in Hollywood. It's so sad.
Yeah, it was so sad. And it was even more sad because we all knew it was over.
Yeah.
And the showrunner, and we just took some of the writers and went to the movies because there was no sense in taking notes or anything. And we knew it was over, but we had to be there. So we just went to the movies.
That's cool.
It was kind of cool.
Who was your showrunner?
Greg Malins.
Oh, I don't know him.
He was Friends guy.
I've heard of Friends.
Yeah.
Wait, who played your wife on your sitcom?
Jennifer Aspen.
Oh, God, I guess I don't know anybody.
Yeah, she was really great.
That's cool.
Yeah, she was cool. But yeah, I think there's good and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be kind of fuzzy, but yeah, I feel like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with. Like, I think on the one hand, I feel like we've gone too far where everyone's broken off into all these different factions and everyone thinks everyone's so stupid, you know? And I feel like, I do think it's like, well, I mean, I don't know if this sounds conspiracy theory, but I feel like there's like online, like foreign interference in which there's people trying to sow discord amongst the left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go on TikTok a lot.
Yeah, me neither.
But I have this, but they post my comedy on it. So I went to check it yesterday, and usually I just check the profile and see the video and see if it's been posted,
Yeah.
And I was on it for a split second and just started scrolling. It was all hard right-wing propaganda.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not on it, so I'm not sure why the algorithm was even feeding that.
It can see into your soul.
I mean,
it saw your blazer.
Well, that's evil. But it was so intense.
I
was like, holy
do you think
cow.
blazers are inherently Republican?
No, it depends how you wear it. If I had
No,
if I had a starched shirt with a tie,
Seersucker?
yeah,
Seersucker?
Seersucker. Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's more kind of gay.
It depends on the body.
Yeah.
Like, what if I wear it? I kind of feel like a used car salesman. You know,
And it like gets
put my
really
hat
wrinkled
back a little bit and sweaty.
Yeah.
Always have a handkerchief just to blot the sweat.
Who do you think used cars salesmen say they feel like when they're
in there?
they're trying to like malign some profession?
Yeah. I feel like a comic. I feel like one of them
like
clowns.
A road comic. Yeah.
I feel like one of them clowns.
I feel like a road comic in Kansas City. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sweaty, desperate.
Yeah. When you said you might want to make a film again, if I ever make a film again.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, I feel like at this point, I feel like anything could happen. You know, I'm very drawn to pottery. You know, like there's part of me that's like, I would like to just live in Berkeley, go fully gray, you know, stop fighting the gray.
Right. Just embrace it.
Go live in Berkeley and just be a potter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I guess I just don't know what's going on with this industry because, you know, we've had the pandemic and the strikes and productions are way down. And it's just kind of like, where's it all headed? AI is marching over the horizon.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a friend who is a showrunner, and he, we were talking about AI and whether they, and he got something picked up. And, you know, the studios can't say use AI. It's like, you know, after the strike and all. But they can say, congratulations, your show has been picked up. You get to hire 2 writers.
Right.
And they have a staff of nothing.
It's crazy.
So maybe we should see what this AI is about. How scary is that?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because I moved here to write for Sarah Silverman. And that was like, I can't remember how many people. It was kind of a small writer's room, which was like 5 or 6 people, I think. And like every writer's room I've been in has been like a group of people. And when I talk to writers now, because it's been a while, and like they're all just like, oh no, we're like on Zoom or we're this or we're that. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know. I guess is that how all old people feel? Or are we in a really crazy, turbulent timeline? Because I feel like I'm seeing so many massive changes.
Big time.
And people say that, like, I don't know if it's like the Industrial Revolution or what it is, but it's like when they talk about like tech advancements and how it's like escalating, you know, I forget the name for that. Do you remember?
I don't. Joe?
But like, you know, what may have taken 100 years to transpire in terms of advancements now is taking like 1 year.
Yeah. Exponential growth.
Yeah, but it's something else. But I can't remember
what it sounds
is.
cooler than that.
Yeah. Okay. This is my fatal flaw, though. I always want to reference things, but I can't remember words for them. but anyway, like,
no, but it
seems crazy.
Super fast.
Yeah.
At a breakneck speed. And especially in our little world.
Yeah.
It's, I have a friend, my daughter's friend got a job at a casting director, like a pretty, you know, good casting director. Then no one goes in the office.
Yeah.
The whole casting, he's gone. The people that work for him are at home. The auditions are coming in over Zoom.
Right.
And there's no human beings in casting, which is like.
So about like the feel of the room.
Yeah, and the person and the thing. And
yeah,
I mean, you look at like, well, do you have to be in Los Angeles?
I know.
I mean, even if you get a gig, then you're probably going to Canada.
I know. Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It does make LA feel sort of beside the point. And LA does feel sort of dead. Like so many people left in the pandemic. And then I think as it's increasingly expensive and there's less and less work, there's going to be more and more people leaving.
Yeah, it feels that way.
Yeah.
Okay, what a strange thing.
I said I'd have coffee so I'd be more fun, and look what happened.
Well, if it was better coffee, we probably would have been happier.
We'd be in business. Yeah.
No, but it is strange. But you're a creator. Like you weren't going to get cast in anything. You didn't think. You're just going to make stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll still have... I mean, it's always hard after birthing a giant project, but you probably have more stuff you want to say beyond Pottery.
I do, yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I've got my podcast, which I am reignited about because...
What's the name of it?
It's called Call Chelsea Peretti. And, I started it, I think in 2014 or 2011, something like a long time ago. And then I've had different times of lapsing, and then I restarted it, and now I'm going independent with my old producer. And I don't know, I just have been really I think because I'm in the mood to be a bit more of an open book in a certain way, instead of being super protective of my thoughts as I feel like I have been. I feel like it's been exciting.
That's cool.
But I'm also writing with a UK person. She's coming in next week.
Right. What?
Well, let me hold off on announcing it, but I'm excitedly writing with someone that I think is really funny, and so we'll see what happens with that. But we're trying to write a TV show,
right?
And
yeah, you're always gonna make stuff.
Yeah, and then a friend of mine has a script that I really like, so I'm thinking about trying to put that together and maybe try to direct it. And
any roles for me in it?
Maybe.
I don't always wear blazers. There's sometimes
Where are you from?
I could wear different things. New Jersey.
Okay.
And then New York.
Yeah.
And now here.
How come you don't say cockroach like Natasha Leone?
Cockroach. Oh man, I didn't even recognize Natasha in your the other Natasha in your
I know, how
film.
crazy. I think Natasha, I think has been sort of shortchanged by the roles that she's been given. And, she was a hot girl and she was always given hookers and strippers. And, I just feel like she's so interesting and strange as a person. And I feel like she has such an incredible role ahead of her. But I loved seeing her as this Thimberly character in my movie. I was trying to make it sort of Imelda Marcos adjacent or something.
Yeah, but a waspy kind of version of it.
Yeah.
She was really good. And it took me seeing her twice before I realized who it was.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of funny. It's when I was casting the movie, I'm no one is when you're casting, because this character was an older woman, and initially I was I really want it to be an older woman, and and then eventually I went with Natasha putting gray in her hair because there's so few women that let themselves age in Hollywood,
right.
Or men, really. It's a lot of people just dye their hair and get Botox, and they kind of look eternally 45 till the day they die,
Right. Yeah, who's going to play all the oldies?
Yeah. So in a way, part of me just keeps going, maybe I should just let myself age, maybe I'd work like crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though.
So when you look at me, do you think, wow, he's really brave?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when I walked in here. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He's letting
he's not hanging
everything fall apart.
He's not hanging on to any of it.
You look pretty youthful. I don't know how old you are, though.
54.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
You look to the crowd.
I was thinking that the other night. It would be funny if our podcast had one person audience.
Oh, yeah, Talk Soup back in the day?
Yeah.
A few people laughing. Well, he laughed.
He laughs once in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like he's faking it.
No, when it's funny, I laugh.
I've never heard Rachel laugh.
I'm a smiler.
And I don't know who you brought.
I'm a smiler. What are you, a Miley Cyrus fan?
Why do you like Pottery?
You know what? First of all, it's funny because, I am basically just very mistrusting of technology and all these advancements. And so, but yet I am a complete addict in my personality. So it's I feel like tech has just had me in an absolute fucking chokehold since, I remember basically getting email in college.
Yeah.
And before that, I had a pager and I would write poetry at cafes and wait for guys I had a crush on to page me and stuff. I mean, that was already looking at your pager every second.
Yeah.
So there's no way I had a chance with cell phones and smartphones and whatever. But So I just feel like it's an obsession. It's very hard for me to ever put it down, even though I was thinking like last night, I'm like, I get in bed at like 10 a lot of times, and then I'll just sit on my phone till like 11 or 12. And it's like, what if I read a book every night for 2 hours? I'd know so much.
Yeah. Or just be calmed down.
And I'd be calmed down. And instead I am just ritualistically, it's like a cigarette or something. You just grab for it without thinking.
It's such poison.
And I don't even feel like with all the algorithms, I don't even think it's easy to game these systems for your own purposes anymore in a way.
That's what I was trying to do with the TikTok. I was like, what I searched bakeries. I'm trying to I'll get it off this right wing thing because it was so, all of a sudden Tucker Carlson's face. And I was like, why am I getting fed this? So I put in bakeries and I put in dogs.
Yeah.
And I haven't been back on it.
You gotta check.
Yeah. See if here's a little thing. I was doing the same thing and I like to read.
Yeah.
So, because my vision's not great, I got the Kindle and it feels, I'm reading a book, but it feels like I'm holding tech.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Kindle that I've always like held off from, but it does feel like it's good for travel and this and that, and it's less shit in your house. But there's like a lot, it doesn't appeal to me.
I know, but if you're having the tech crossover.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Pottery, basically anytime I cannot use my phone, I'm happy. Like escape rooms.
Yeah.
I love escape rooms. I love Pottery. I love like being out in nature. But if I have my phone and I walk my dog, I'll look at my phone the whole walk,
Yeah.
So it's like I have to like actively choose to leave my phone at home. So like, there's a family camp that we go to and it's like you don't get cell reception for a week and it's like heaven.
Wow.
Never I've been twice and I'm never like, damn, I wish I had reception.
And is it weird that you go to the family camp by yourself?
No, people like it because it's kind of like I can kind of be like, what do you call it? There's a sports analogy. Is it like a pinch hitter where I can go in and like
the
help
designated
whatever
hitter.
family needs help,
Right. You just kind of walk around the outside.
Yeah.
I see who's...
The fun aunt or aunt. I don't know how you say it.
I like aunt.
Yeah, I'm torn.
My wife says aunt. And she thinks... She acts so much better than me when she does.
Aunt.
Yeah.
Aunt sounds weird and aunt to
Where'd you
me.
grow
I feel
up?
like there should be a middle ground.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area.
Yeah. But how do you say SYRUP?
Syrup?
No, come on.
Syrup.
That's how my mom says it.
Syrup.
But some people, I say syrup.
Syrup?
Yeah. And she
like
goes,
it's a U?
Syrup.
Yeah.
Syrup.
It's a Y.
Yeah, but syrup.
Again, you should use the Kindle.
Why?
Just to be...
Does it pronounce
just
words?
so you're better with words.
Does it pronounce them for you? Or doesn't
No,
read
I don't
to you?
know. No, I don't think it does. Syrup.
Syrup. And how do you say MILK?
Milk.
My mom says milk a lot of times.
Milk?
Milk.
Didn't we get a voicemail about the pronunciation of milk? Did someone think we said it wrong?
Well, yeah, Charlene says milk,
Milk.
and my toddler says milk.
Milk.
Most
There's something kind of folksy and charming about milk, but also, come on. What are we doing?
Did you, I know you're a mix of a lot of things, but was the Italian part the best part?
Well, it's funny. I always identified more strongly with my Italian side growing up. And then that was in part because a lot of my Jewish side was estranged family. Like they were all fighting about different things. And, well, in recent years, it's been an interesting journey with identifying with any part of being Jewish because there's been a lot of vitriol and a lot of, a lot of sentiments around Jews that I'm like processing, I guess.
Again, back to the stuff that we thought we had gotten beyond.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then I think there's nothing that makes you realize your Jewishness than people generalizing about Jews.
Yeah.
And you go, I guess this does feel like it attacks me in a certain way,
Yeah. What was the food? Was it Italian or was it?
Well, like I didn't have a religion on either side, and, I had latkes and stuff, but I guess I just wasn't like, listen, everything's on a spectrum, even Jewishness.
Right.
It's like I wasn't See, I don't even remember if it's bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, but I think it's. Do girls get bat mitzvah or bat?
But
Yeah, I wasn't bat mitzvahed, but I did go to a Jewish community center for preschool. Mm-hmm. You know, I made wine out of raisins.
oh, that's good.
Okay,
How was
so-
it?
I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But was I allowed to try it? That seems weird.
Yeah, it does seem weird. I never really take a nap.
We were all completely wasted. But so anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I think I like all sides, and it's also interesting, like realizing all these Yiddish words that I just inherently know. That I'm like, oh, I guess a lot can just permeate, you know.
Yeah.
But I think, well, you know, also in these times, like both sides are immigrants. You know, it's like you go. I think that has a big impact on your identity is immigrant mentality. You know, it's like
Were they first generation?
my grandfather's dad came from Italy, and so his first language was Italian, but I think he was born here. And my grandmother fled the Holocaust. She fled from Geneva when she was just about to finish high school. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Was there Italian food around? Probably not.
Let's keep talking about the Holocaust. No, I'm just kidding. You're like, back to the food. I told you I'm going to be more of an open book.
Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Well, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved, ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel great, no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. How about this? Lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals. Based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, results, of course, will vary depending on diet and exercise. Here's something that I did. I asked for the vegan meals. How about that, Joe? Vegan meals in your honor.
Wow, thank you.
Now, am I a vegan? No. Have I done
am.
it? Have I done it before? I have.
Okay. Wait, can I have one of these meals?
You can have one of the meals,
Thank you. I'm
or
excited.
you could just sign up the way that our listeners do.
Well, how do I do that?
Well, I'm not at that part yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling the nice little story about what I did.
But when you get to that part, can I write down the code?
Yes, you can.
Thank
Papa
you.
50 off.
Okay.
Look, when you want to change the way, whenever you kind of want to take your health into consideration of what you're eating, it really is, I always say, just a matter of thoughtfulness and being kind of aware of what you're doing. And you kind of stop and think about what you're doing rather than just shove stuff in your face. So I was like, you know what? My wife is a vegetarian. Why not go for the vegan meals? Why not vegan it up? I don't have to do it all the time, but I'll get big bonus points for being like, look what I made for you, a vegan meal. And I don't have to think about it. And that's kind of the greatest thing about Factor is that you just say what you want. You want a calorie meal? Do you want a vegan meal? Do you want a keto meal? And they do it all for you. And you get this prepared meal. And then you don't have to think, is this vegan? Is this going to be good vegan? It's all going to be great. It's all going to taste great. You're going to heat it up and eat it within 2 minutes. And all the work is done. And then also, my wife's like, oh my God, you made a vegan meal for me? You're so sweet. But after 25 years of marriage, you don't get anything extra. That's all you get. You just get 25 years of just, oh yeah, you thought about me. Thank you. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Papa50 off. And use the code PAPA50OFF to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Did you write that down, Joe? Write down.
Wow.
This is how you support the podcast
And my body?
and your body.
Whoa.
That's code PAPA50OFF at factormeals.com/Papa50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thank you, Factor, for making my wife like me.
Food, listen. My grandmother on my dad's side, who is the Italian, obviously, because my last name's Peretti, but people still ask me which side it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hello, anyone home?
This is how names work.
Yeah, but my grandmother, she actually wasn't Italian, but my dad's dad was Italian, and so she taught him. She was taught all these Italian foods to keep him happy, I guess.
Right.
And she was an incredible incredible cook. And so she would make like rabbit and polenta and bolognese and all these different amazing things that I loved. No one could cook like her. And then she just quit one day. She was like, I've had it. And I was like, what? But now when I think about how much cooking this woman was doing,
Right.
I mean, every holiday for so many people, she was cooking. It's like so much work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Did you catch any of that? Did you?
I do like hosting and I like cooking, but I get sort of stressed when it's a huge group of people. Like, you know, I like cooking for a couple friends. You know, that's my happier place.
Are you hosting Thanksgiving?
My brother is.
Yeah.
But he's like an amazing cook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
But, you know, they don't like a traditional meal, which sometimes I am just like, you know.
Would it kill you?
Listen, I'm not on Ozempic. You know what I mean? Like, I like mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. I like to pile whole cranberry sauce onto my turkey. Not to say I endorse the spirit of Thanksgiving, but I do. I have grown accustomed to the food.
Yeah.
I think we should just designate it like Indigenous Peoples Day and keep the holiday, but switch I guess people won't go for that. They won't go for anything.
Yeah. No. I mean, our biggest holiday around here is Columbus Day. So Thanksgiving we're pretty at peace with.
Yeah. You love Columbus.
Oh.
He was such a visionary.
He really was. He did amazing work.
And so fearless in his exploration of land and sea.
We have a thing on this program called an uncomfortable moment. This isn't so bad, but we have our Cracker Jack staff do a little deep dive into our guests and what they're all about. And I know you don't like to do podcasts.
So this is different from your show with Fortune.
Yeah. Do you think Fortune was going to be here?
No, but weren't we doing that at one point? Like, I was supposed to do the one with you and Fortune at one point.
Oh, you were?
I think so.
What happened?
It's probably my fault. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But so you do two different ones. One with
Yeah,
her.
that's the radio show. That's on Sirius XM.
And how did you wind up doing that show together?
I got offered the show from Netflix, and they asked who would you like as a co-host.
Yeah.
And I picked Fortune.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't really know her all that well, but every time I ran into her, she was just fun and bright and light, and I was able to be funny with her.
Yeah.
And that really like a handful of times. So yeah, I just called her one day, and she said yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are you threatened by Handsome Pod?
Not really. Everyone's got their own things. This is our uncomfortable moment. This isn't about you. When I said uncomfortable
I'm trying
moment,
to preempt.
when I said uncomfortable moment, this isn't about you making me uncomfortable. This is about me making you uncomfortable.
Gotta try to take my power back. All right, let's go.
Your film, first time female director.
Yes.
We did a deep dive, and I always thought, well, she's passionate. She knows what she wants artistically, and so it was just that was her vision, and that's what she was going to do. And then we found this picture for first female dictator, and was this the original idea for the film?
First time female dictator. Does she have furry hands? What is this?
This is you.
You found this or you made this?
I don't know how the sausage is made, but somebody
AI?
sent it to my iPad.
There was this thing where, what is his name? There's some leader that's like a dictator, and there was a false quote attributed to me.
What?
Is that in there?
No.
Where they were saying I endorsed this dictator. It was like
for
in
real?
the Philippines or something.
Noriega?
No. Wasn't Noriega like the 80s?
Yeah.
I think it's someone else, but I can't remember who it is. But I had to be like, I didn't say this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, this is pure coincidence because we just thought it was a funny wordplay.
Yeah, that's funny.
I do like your hands, though.
Yeah, they look like furry bear hands.
What is the film that I'm going to be in again? What is that one about?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you're the right geography for it.
Whatever. You know, they call it acting because you can be things that you're not,
Right.
in a way.
Here's my thing. Like when things need an accent, I'm like, I can't do accents. Do you feel like you can?
I think I can.
Whoa.
Once in a while, I don't think I can do it. And then other times, I'm like, I think I can.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Does it feel cool to say I've made a movie? It's got
It
to
does.
feel pretty cool.
It does. Yeah. It's almost like a bit of a fever dream. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, it is like really hard to make a movie. And I am reminded of that by friends of mine who are trying to do that and can't, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have, you know, the buzziest reception, I'll say, but I feel like there's a lot to be proud of in it. And I feel like it's incredibly hard to do. And I didn't feel like it was that hard in a way. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it was an encouraging experience and that there's a great film to come.
How long did you, from the start of I'm going to do it, I'm just putting my do not disturb on.
Smart.
Thank you. From the idea of like, I think I can make this into something to when it was all over.
Well, I mean, I started writing it before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then the pandemic kind of grounded everything.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember when it was sold, but you know, it was drawn out because of that.
Right.
Yeah. But I have the worst sense of time. I want to say like it maybe was 5 years from like meeting to getting it out there,
Right.
or something like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the one part about making a film that always is daunting to
know.
me. That because I get like, I always want to do the next thing and do the
Yeah.
next thing. And that you have to be in love with that thing
I
and
know.
believe in that thing for a long period of time.
Well, that's what kind of held me back from even attempting it for the longest time. And I think that, you know, I really do respond to positive encouragement. And I think in that sense, Amy Poehler was a good producing match for me because she was just like, I love this idea, write it. And I love this, do it. You
Right.
know, and it's like
Right.
that helps me because I have very self-defeating voices, but I'm also very determined. So it's like, you know, it just helps
Yeah.
me to be aligned with someone who's encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what a producer's supposed to do.
Yeah.
How did you become pals? Parks and Rec?
You know, I used to do the monologues in New York for ASCAT at UCB and stuff. And I did intern at SNL, but I think that was before her time.
Right.
I don't know. I think it was just from like comedy in UCB, and she was
Yeah.
friends with like, I don't know, was she friends with Showalter and all them? I feel like she was.
Right.
I don't know. We were just kind of around, but definitely
Yeah.
UCB. Like I used to do monologues and watch her do improv and thought she was so funny.
Right.
And then I wrote for Parks and Rec, and so I was around her in that world. So we just
Right.
kind of always. I did a web series called All My Exes, and she was on that when I was in New York when I was doing stand up in New York. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, we just kind of always been in each other's matrix or something.
And why are you enemies now?
We're not, but
It's great that she helped push you
yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
You need pals. You need
Yeah, and then like randomly, the people who financed the film Mar Vista, they hired this woman Deanna, who as a producer, and me and her really clicked. So I did really luck out in that regard because
Yeah.
some people have these horror stories where they're, you know, matched with someone and they don't work well together, and so
Yeah.
I really did luck out in that. And me and Deanna are still kind of talking about things we would like to work on together.
Does that mean that Marvis is the sole financier of the thing?
I mean,
because whenever I hear people putting films together, one of the other things that stops me is you got to go find money from who, where,
I
a whole bunch
know.
of people in different places.
Yeah, I think they were. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you didn't have to do that part.
Well, we were seeking financing for a while,
Right.
you know, and then you don't have it till you have it. And
Yeah.
they were the people who stepped up to
Right.
finance it. Yeah.
I always feel like you got to deal with like some like guy who's in oil but
Yeah.
wants to throw some money into the film biz, and
Yeah.
that you didn't have to do that.
I didn't.
That's good.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many different ways people get movies made. But when there's millions of dollars at play, things can get weird.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
So it's daunting in that way, and also it's just like I don't know where it's all headed. It's like a lot of young people that you talk to are not really even watching movies. So it's
I know it is weird. I went to see Saturday Night in the and we went to the movie theater to see it, and we were one of like 6 people in the whole jumboplex.
And that happens a lot, and you go, how is this working? And then think of all the theaters that have shut down in LA. I mean, I still can't believe ArcLight's gone. Although you have it here in Sherman Oaks.
No, it's
Really?
now Regal.
Oh, okay, but it's still here.
It's still physically there, but ArcLight no more.
Yeah, but I miss ArcLight.
Yeah,
Like
I
that was
know.
kind of like a main social thing. It's
Yeah,
like
it was
go to movies
cool.
there with your friends and stuff, and it's just like.
Yeah.
And the ones I used to go to growing up in Berkeley on Shattuck are gone as well. Like,
We were so proud of ourselves. Like, we're at the movies. We got to support movies on the way in. I'm like telling my wife, you can't just complain that the movies are dying and not go to the movies.
Yeah.
We're going to the movies.
Right.
And there was like one other person in the theater with us, and he sat like right behind us. And
you
he's
jerked
just
off on your blazer.
It sounded like it.
Yeah.
And you're like, ew, get out of here.
It is like, I mean, it's like there is like, I don't know. But I think once it's
great.
ingrained in you from when you're young, like movies, popcorn and movies, it's like got
it's
such
the
a special
best.
feeling. But I think
Maybe another generation of kids that weren't
we'll save it.
part of the pandemic that will just maybe grow up a little more the way we grew up.
Maybe.
I mean, people are going to make stuff, right?
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. Like I wonder what happens with the whole influencer thing and just like online content. Is that where does that?
Is
all
that
go?
enough? Like,
Where does it go from there?
Right.
I don't know.
Back to the movie that I'm going to be in.
Yeah. What kind of role? Let me ask you this.
What? Okay.
Okay, let me put my directing hat on for a second.
Okay.
What kind of role would you like to play that you think you would crush that you don't think people expect you to crush?
I think a friendly father type character who's up to
really
something kind of
serious
evil.
secret. Yeah.
Who's doing something.
Now, see, if I'm your wife and I hear this episode,
Well, this is what
I'm
I want
like,
to play.
what the hell
this
is going on?
This is what I
Yeah.
want to.
Oh yeah, but like you want to do something where you have like kind of a dark side, like
Yeah. A little
I
bit
feel
of
like
that.
every comedian kind of wants to do that. Like just how like Robin Williams, Jim Carrey had that like dark side and they explored it, and you're like, wow, they're so good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the thing that some comics have where they want to do something more important than comedy. You know what I mean? There's like that comedy doesn't
I'm trying
get
to
the
think
respect.
if I have that. I'm trying to think if I have that, but I don't. I mean, I think like lastingly comedy is my passion. I guess I just don't always know if it's stand up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the hard part is, and the reason why it falls flat is funny people are funny people.
Yeah.
You're a funny you just walking in, like just in your film or
Yeah.
your shows, you just enter the room, you kind of lean in like, what is she up to?
Yeah.
You know
I
what
know.
mean?
I think, but it would be fun to have some dark, sick director who's like, no, I know how to tap into that pathos,
Yeah.
It would be fun. But
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely could do comedy till the day I die, and that would be fine with me,
Yeah.
I think what's heartbreaking about comedy in terms of like Hollywood is just how it's like the bastard cousin of everything. Like
know.
no one, like why aren't there Oscars for comedy?
Yeah.
I mean, and
I
then
know.
you,
And
you
then-
can name 100 films that are the answer to that.
Right, exactly. All the Ernest series.
Like I've been rewatching all these Jim Carrey movies, and like they're fucking amazing, and he is so funny and like so like even cute. Where like he's kind of cute, like has a big eyes and his
Yeah.
like little mouth. He looks like so expressive, and we've been watching them and cracking up and stuff, but it is also like when you imagine him getting an Oscar for it, it's like, I mean, part of the Oscars is just being so fucking up your own ass and so serious that it is hard to imagine comedy getting into that.
Yeah, it feels like the inappropriate kids like jumped into the jumped over the wall.
But then
somehow.
like even for TV, like the comedy category always gets kind of like overrun with the virus of like dramedies or
The Bear is best comedy.
Yeah. So I don't know. That part annoys me where I'm like, I wish comedy. Yeah, and also just like how every actor thinks they can do comedy,
I know.
I don't know, but I guess here we are, and every comedian thinks they can do drama, so maybe.
Right. We just watched Being There the other night.
Have I seen that?
With Peter Sellers. You've never seen it?
I don't know. Is that the Heaven one?
No, it's the
that's
politician
Defending
one.
Your Life.
Are you looking for a cigarette?
No, but those do look amazing. Thank you.
They're
I haven't
pretty good.
smoked in years.
You haven't? You want to hold it?
Oh
or
my
will it
God.
trigger you? I just like it as a prop. We don't light them up. But
God, fucking damn it.
I'm sorry. Do you want to give
I
it back?
love cigarettes so much.
You look good with it. You hold it.
Can you believe this guy? I'm a mother. I can't fucking kill myself, but God. I didn't actually ever, I did smoke Marlboro Lights for a while, but they're not that good. Camel Lights are better. Parliaments, I used to love. I love the recessed filter. God damn you.
Sorry. I'm
Tom
so sorry.
Papa.
I didn't realize.
If I fucking started smoking it, I started smoking as soon as I came here to write for Sarah Silverman. Everyone was like smoking on their breaks from the writer's room, and I just immediately picked up a cigarette without a thought in my head. Do you know what I mean?
How long did you smoke for?
Oh my God, off and on from when I was like, 13 to
13.
to, I don't know how old I was when I moved here, probably 30, 32, something
Right.
like that.
Wow. That's a good run.
So yeah, but
Yeah. I always like the idea. Sarah Silverman, your friend, said that when she was here, she said that she smokes one cigarette every morning.
no, I know this is the problem. This is why I started smoking on that show, because she makes it seem like, oh, it's a little treat.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, it's not a treat for anyone but you. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, that is so wild. Like, can you imagine? Well, I mean, I don't know what your relationship to addiction is, but for me, I'm like, a cigarette? Like, every now and again, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Half the time you smoke a cigarette, it's not even good until you get to like your 10th cigarette, and then somehow that's the most magical one, you
Your
know?
10th.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
cigarettes were like such a fickle maiden. Like, you need like that cigarette with your coffee, or the cigarette. If the wind is blowing too much, you can't enjoy it. If this or that, but like sometimes you have that perfect pull on a cigarette, and you see the little bright, glowing ember, and then you blow out and you see the stream of your smoke. This is so triggering. Oh my God.
I know. I've never smoked as a habit. Like I never.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like Sarah.
But I will, when I'm tired, when I'm like on the road and trying to get to the next place, I literally see myself outside the theater before we go in for the sound check, smoking a cigarette. Like
You visualize it.
I literally visualize just being like,
It's like a stress relief or something.
yeah, it's just I identify it with just give me a minute to myself.
Now, if instead of
thing.
that, you did 30 push-ups,
Yeah.
you'd be ripped right now.
I'd be ripped.
That's like every
And
podcast
major people
with
would be
guys.
on my podcast.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I mean, it is like, it's the perfect kind of little time filler for an anxious little moment, you know? And also just like, I used to love that it gave me an excuse to just, like, when would you just go sit outside on a step
Yeah.
for 10 minutes and then go back inside? You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, right, by yourself.
Yeah, but it gives you like a reason to just sit outside for 10 minutes, you know?
My other director friend, other than you,
Tarantino?
is Soderbergh.
Okay.
And he would have before the day started, when he's getting ready for the first shot, he would have a clove cigarette.
I do like the smell, but they make you headachy.
Just for the habit of it, just for the moment alone to kind of like settle in and, okay, we're going to work and this is going to be the first thing that we're going to do. So
it's a smart way to not get addicted, because I feel like you don't really want to like mainline clove cigarettes.
no, it doesn't sound like
It's too
good.
like dizzying and intense.
Yeah.
But I do love clove. Cooking with it, I'm like, I kind of went on this tear of like, why isn't there should be more clove, more nutmeg, more all the Christmas spices.
Yep. Cardamom.
I love.
My wife just made a pumpkin bread, and it had all of that in it. And she put it in the toaster to heat it up last night when I was coming up the stairs. And I was like, it's Christmas time.
It's just so soothing. And vanilla, I love vanilla.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get into it, baking again.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah, it's not in a lot of recipes here, so enjoy it while it lasts. Does anyone ever sort of sit back like this?
No.
This is
Can
cool.
you see Chelsea?
Does this ruin the like sitting at the Italian? What is this
The
supposed
angle?
to be? Are you Italian?
I am.
Oh, Papa?
Yeah.
Was was it
from Sicily?
Oh, I just went to Sicily.
You did?
Yeah.
I've never been.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did you like it?
I did like it. It was really, really hot, as you may hear about Sicily in the summer.
Yeah.
But we did go on some boats. We, you know, and so we were jumping in and out of the water, and we walked around in Palermo. That's where we were.
There's a lot of papas in Palermo.
Are there? You should go.
Yeah, I really want to go.
I bet there's some listening.
In Palermo?
Do you ever have like Sicilians reach out to you and be like, "Come"?
Once in a while. Once in a while. I'm going to look up something.
That would be really cool. You should first of all sell that as a little travel thing or something.
Like Papa Goes Back?
Yeah, and you go try to meet as many papas as you can in Sicily. Mm-hmm. What are you texting your agent this idea right now?
I am. Keep going.
You better be.
Keep going.
So you go to Palermo, you meet it's called, what is it called? Papa of the Papas?
Mm-hmm. Papa Comes Home.
Yeah, Papa's home.
Papa's Home.
Yeah, and then you go meet all the Sicilian papas that your heart can handle. And you bring one home to live with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like an older one? This is the biggest comedy movie star in
Sicily?
In Italy. His name is Carlo Verdone.
Oh, he looks a lot like you.
And I got in a cab in Rome, and this young Roman cab driver was like,
Oh my.
Verdone is in my cab.
Wow.
Oh my God, it's Carlos Verdone.
And you know what I would have done immediately? Bring me to the best pasta in the town.
I just kept going, no. I'm not Verdone. And then he called his father and had me get on the phone with him.
Yeah. You're like,
Because-
hi, ciao.
I'm like, ciao, Bella. And it took the whole
This was in
ride.
Rome?
In Rome.
See, now Rome is the home of carbonara, and that is my favorite pasta.
It's so good.
God damn, it's
Guanciale.
good. God.
Oh my
Have you had
God.
it from Angelini?
No.
So good.
Really?
So good.
Can you make it?
Carbonara might be my last meal if I were to be dying soon.
I don't disagree with that.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I follow all these Roman places that specialize in it on Instagram just so I can see pictures of it all the
Me
time.
too.
And fucking yank and crank my...
Matteo Lane, are you friends with Matteo? Do you know Matteo?
I don't know Matteo. Everyone talks about this Matteo.
Mateo's
I
great.
don't have my phone.
And he loves it and makes it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Matteo, hit me up.
Yeah, it's really that is a perfect dish. But you gotta use
So good.
guanciale. You can't
Yeah.
really use
Although my mom would make it with bacon and it was pretty fucking good. I'll
Yeah,
say. But
it's okay.
Italians are like so up in arms if you fuck with recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I will say similarly,
Mm.
if you put cream in it, you're dead to me. If you put peas in it,
Yeah, no.
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 We do another thing on this program. We like the beautiful things like carbonara and this beautiful bread that you're going to take home.
I'm so
and I hope
excited.
you text me and give me a review on it. I hope you like it.
I will. I don't have your number, but I will.
Okay. You don't?
Do I?
Do we? We also eat things we find in the 7-Eleven that I've never eaten before.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is a new kind of Skittle called a Smoothies Skittles.
Oh, wow. That doesn't sound promising. Smoothies? Like, either we're doing smoothies or we're doing Skittles. This is how I feel about burlesque. I'm like, strip or be funny. I don't want the combo action. All right, let's see. They're pretty.
Right.
Although I'm going to take all the oranges out because I can't with orange
Why?
flavor.
What do you mean?
I hate orange flavor candy.
For real?
Yeah.
Orange anything?
Amazing. They've done it again. See, contempt prior to investigation. These are amazing.
Yeah, they're better than regular Skittles.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I would say if it was like music, regular Skittles are like, and these are like, ooh.
Yeah,
You know
more
what I mean?
lofty.
They're more mellow. Mm-hmm. But you know what I want? Sour Skittles. Does that exist? That does.
I bet it does.
Yeah.
Look, you really took all the orange out.
I don't like orange.
I like orange.
Is it orange
You say
flavor?
Orange?
Mm-hmm. What
Not
do you say?
orange?
That's like some East Coast shit. Orange?
Orange.
No.
Orange. Orange flavored.
Orange honey.
Orange flavored
Get the
syrup.
orange cockroach.
Orange flavored syrup.
Orange aunts. Yeah, New Jersey.
You like being a mom?
I do.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I said no? It'd be such like a letdown for my kids to hear this later.
You're like,
Not really, no. I love it.
how old?
7.
Prime time.
How old are your kids?
19 and 22.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So,
I see pictures of 7 on my phone.
and do you fall apart?
Brings me to my knees.
I fucking hate it. Like the old pictures when your phone shows you, I'm just like, time is flying past. Are yours out of the house? Was that like a devastating moment? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's like the whole stand-up thing. Stand-up, loud, community, people, chaos, and then you're in your hotel room. I have to feel like Empty Nest feels like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really, you're right.
Your
I
house
never put
is
it together,
so
but
fucking noisy and like chaotic when you have kids.
yeah.
And then they're just gone
There's
and you're
so
like
much.
looking at your spouse like, all right, so let's dig back in.
Yeah, no one tells you really with any clarity at the beginning of it that this is going to be the biggest project of your life. This is
Yeah.
going to be making a film for 20 years. And it's going to end. You're not, and then what project are you working on next?
I used to have a joke that's like, no one tells you how hard parenting is. JK, they do constantly.
But it's also beautiful. Like I like them. I like adults. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Like,
What
and
are
they
you
come
doing
home
now?
for like 4 months at a time. And
What are you doing now? Are you getting into like some speakeasies with your...
I microdose more.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. Everyone's into microdosing.
Yeah.
You're like, do you want to hold a microdose? How you had me hold the cigarette? You're like, do you want
I
to hold
could give you
heroin,
one.
Chelsea?
could
You want to
give you
hold a drink? You seem like someone who battles addiction. Want to hold a drink and smell it? I'm like, what the hell kind of podcast
Have you ever
is
been
this?
on Hinge? Have you ever just looked at Hinge?
No. Can you imagine? Yeah, just take a browse through Hinge. There's some hot guys in here, Chels. It's like, what the hell show is this?
No, I mean there's a little more freedom.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going back to the guy I was before I pretended to be responsible and
Right. Do you sleep? Do you change your sleeping habits?
no, that's like never going
that's
back.
over. I mean, when I was a teenager,
Never going
I
back.
literally dragged my mattress into a closet. And I slept in there because it was pitch black and I could sleep till like noon.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep till noon if you paid me $300.
I couldn't sleep till 9.
300? That's the biggest amount I could come up with.
It sounded really.
The hell
I
is
was
wrong
like,
with
yeah,
me?
that is a lot. No, it wrecks you. That's what's weird. Is like they change you and then go.
And then you're just left in
You're
in
left with
tatters.
their friends' parents or your friends.
Are you still friends with their friends' parents?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's like some that are like our closest friends.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, because we ended up together for 12 years, you know?
Right.
And no, the whole thing's cool. But yeah.
Where are they
that phase
are
is
they in
over.
school?
One's in school and one's a person in New York.
That's the thing. I caught myself. I was like, I don't want to be elitist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where are they in school? Hey, school's got diminishing returns these days. The real question is, can they build robots? You know?
Yeah.
So they're in New York, you said? I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't retain your answer.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You got
One's in
Skittles
New
going
York.
through your brain.
The Twinkie defense. Remember?
Yeah.
The Skittles, the Smoothies Skittles. Hey, it's both plural. Smoothies Skittles.
Smoothie Skittles.
Come on, fucking. Sorry.
That was really
Smoothies
unnecessary.
Skittles. That is gonna make me nuts.
You can bring them home.
It should be called Smoothie Skittles.
Smoothies.
Smoothies Skittles.
Smoothies. You know, a focus group went over that for a long time.
And they failed us. But hey, the American people are being failed left and right. What's new?
Smoothies, Skittles.
Smoothies,
Now
Skittles.
listen,
Tom's, Papa's.
when we're working on our movie together,
Yeah. Where you're a deranged monogamist.
now I might be directing you in something.
I would love that. I'm available. Let's put it like that. I am avail.
Will you audition or are you offer only?
Depends on the script, I guess. Depends who's involved.
It depends. Yeah, exactly. How much money will I get paid?
No, but I really am trying to just be like, you know what? Be humble. Be humble. Allow yourself to be a loser. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like so much of being creative is regenerating yourself, re-envisioning things, coming up with new ideas. Like, I think LA, everyone's obsessed with status. Everyone's obsessed with like,
yeah.
I just don't want to run my life that way.
No,
you know,
it's
that's why I'm
gross.
here today.
Well, it was really nice having you. Enjoy your bread. And no, I've been talking about that on stage a lot.
Really?
That I want to go to a small town, live in a small town.
Yeah.
That this place is sick. And
It
really
is.
shouldn't be like people will mortgage their whole life to get a nice car to feel important for 10 seconds at valet
Yeah.
in front of strangers. It's like a demented place.
When I first moved here, my dad's wife had let me have her car, but she's a bad driver and the car was covered in dents. And I went to go do a show at UCB and I went to the valet and the valet waved me through. He's like, "This is for valet." And I literally got tears in my eyes because I was just like, I'm driving this shit heap. He can't even conceive I would have the cash to valet, you know?
It's brutal.
But yeah, this town is just fucking whack.
Yeah.
I don't know. One time I went to the dermatologist. This is another valet story.
Yeah.
But the guy brought me a Bentley afterwards. Like he just got confused and gave me the keys to a Bentley. And I was like, what if I just drove away?
I just take off. Here's my valet story. It was the first time I ever came to LA for Comedy Central Presents.
Yeah.
And do you remember Lucian from the comic strip?
Yeah, but I didn't really know him.
He was managing me, and
Whoa.
we got to LA and we're going to do this TV taping,
Mm-hmm.
and we go into the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and it's like, wow, this is gorgeous, and I can't believe I made it to LA.
Yeah.
And the person at the front desk said, no, you don't have a reservation here. And he had booked at the Wilshire Hotel, which was like a motel down the street. And we're like, oh, okay. So
God.
now we have to bring our luggage back outside and get our car from the valet. And Dom DeLuise is standing there waiting for his car, and he's like, hello. He's just like big gregarious guy. And he's
And
like,
he knew
hi.
you.
No, he didn't know me at all. I was just like a kid, you know?
Yeah.
But he was just being really
Friendly.
effusive and friendly. And he goes, and then so we're talking, and the valet comes up with the car and like this beautiful like Porsche or BMW, and Dom DeLuise goes, "This is your car?" And I'm like, "No." And then this rented like Yugo beep 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 comes up,
God.
and I go, "That's my car." And he looked at me like, "Oh. All right."
I know, but it's like, you know, it's like you're telling this story and I'm like, what's so great about some piece of shit with a nice car? You know? It's like the fact that you're feeling bad about yourself because you're not. I mean, this town is just so
know.
corrosive and shitty. It's like, wow, you should feel so good about yourself. You have an expensive car. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
know. But that was my first entrance, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is how this place works.
Yeah.
This is how what
no,
it
it's all
runs on.
and even fashion, like New York, I feel like people dress so interesting and
I
cool.
know.
You come here like, I need an expensive purse. I need an expensive pair of shoes. Like you have to have these like status qualifiers.
They
to
all look
be,
the same. Everyone
Yeah.
they're playing by the same
and
rule
they don't
book.
even look good. Like a lot of expensive shit is like objectively ugly.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know?
Yeah,
It's like almost part of it. Mm-hmm. I dare you to fucking say something. Like these are so expensive. You know, it's like
yeah, you know what these cost. That's what this is built
I
on.
don't know. This town is just. I mean,
Would you go back to New York?
I don't know that I would want to live there.
Yeah.
Like forever, but I think it would be fun to live there for a year again or something.
Yeah, or
'Cause
do
just-
like 3 months.
Yeah, or like a stint in New York. Like
Yeah.
I've gone there a lot lately, and like it is just like I love walking around, and like I just love how you can how condensed it all is. Like
I know.
LA is so spread out. So I mean, obviously this isn't very insightful, but I just love that you can walk down the block and like do like 10 things on one block. You know?
I know. It is cool that way. And you know what?
What?
You look cool with a cigarette in that town.
God damn it.
Eating bread with a cigarette.
You know,
in
I used
New
to
York.
smoke. Do you remember Cafe Mogador? Did you ever go there?
Mm-mm.
It was in the East Village, and they used to have a breakfast special that you get a fresh squeezed orange juice, a cappuccino, eggs, potatoes, bacon, I think, and you could smoke in there. And
Really?
Yeah, and I would just go have this incredible breakfast.
Oh my God.
Imagine me licking every one of my fingers and then puffing out a perfect stream of smoke. This was the life. I felt like a fat cat and I was fucking not making money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, listen.
Yeah. Well, that New York gives you that illusion like you're
Yeah.
getting stuff done when you could have nothing going on.
But just a great
surviving.
meal. A great meal. And they have good food that's not expensive. You know,
Yeah.
like just so many options for that. And like,
Well, I don't want to be, I'm talent, so
Yeah.
I don't want to pretend I'm the producer.
Right.
But maybe we shoot in New York.
yeah. This project is really ballooning.
It really is. I'm very excited
The
about it. Everyone's
untitled
very excited about
Tom
it.
Papa psychopath movie.
People are very excited. My friend said that every time in LA when someone says they're excited, that means they're nervous.
They're lying.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you.
like, yeah,
very
right.
excited you're a part of this
Yeah,
project.
right. If you just say yeah, right,
Very nervous.
you don't have feelings. Yeah, right.
Congratulations.
Back at you.
It's really fantastic. You're very funny. I love
Thank
you. Just watching you move.
I love you
is
so much.
always so great. When you're really the way you just walk in, all of your scenes in this film, it's very much like your stand up. Just
Yeah.
the way you do a good lunge. You got a good comedy lunge.
Thank you. Well, I loved, I grew up loving, as I said, Jim Carrey, Martin Lawrence, there were
Yeah.
people taking such big swings.
Yeah.
I Love Lucy.
Fun.
I grew up watching that at my daycare. My babysitter would put that on black and white, and I watched so much I Love Lucy. She was so funny physically.
Yeah.
And I think then comedy moved in like a more naturalistic direction, and now it
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So
and now it's gone. So it was a good run.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your bread.
Thank you for this bread.
Your
I'm very
last loaf of
excited.
bread.
Yeah.
And if you want to take the Skittles, I have
No.
another pack for you here that's all hasn't been opened yet.
I thought there was going to be more 7-Eleven things, but that was it.
Oh, you think we should have more?
Well, inflation, I get that it's like
Yeah.
hard to buy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we're not handsome.
Well, I do recommend future guests to sit in this way. It's more comfortable.
How does it look on camera when you sit that way?
It's okay.
No, boy, not good.
Oh God, this is, as an actor, I really have no sense of like, I'm always like, oh, that looks pretty shitty.
Yeah, the director
When
and
I
you would
see
have
stuff,
would have
yeah.
understood not to go over
Yeah,
there.
but he left me hanging, I guess.
Yeah.
Said, it looks shitty, but we'll let her do it. Anyway,
much.
thanks for having me. It was really great to see you.
You too.
And I'm excited for my bread. Can I use that bag?
Here's your bag.
Great.
Thank you, Joe.